friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with Z-Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, August 23rd, 2025. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here spending part of your day or your evening with me. We are in the middle of a heat wave for us in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and it's hot. It was 102 yesterday. They're expecting the same or a little warmer today. And if you look at the 7-day forecast, I think like the next 6 days are all in the mid 90s or higher, which for us is very warm. And I know I always say this when we have a heat wave, but sometimes there's new people who may not know. Where I live, it is not common for people to have air conditioning in their homes. So I am very fortunate. This home, I do have air conditioning. It's the first home I've lived in the Pacific Northwest. I've lived other places that had air conditioning, but it's the first place in the Pacific Northwest where I've lived where I've had air conditioning. So I'm very grateful for it, these hot days of summer. Overall, it's been a fairly mild summer. We haven't had too much heat, but summer reminds us that it's still here. So I'm just going to kind of take it easy a little bit. It's kind of on the earlier side of filming, so I can then close up the curtains to keep the afternoon heat out. I have over here, you can't see it. Well, maybe you can kind of tell that there's like this whole wall almost is all windows. There's windows and like a patio door, and that is where the afternoon sun comes in on this side. So usually around when it gets hot like this, at this point in the summer around noon, I will shut those curtains just to keep it cooler. And they're blackout curtains. I actually got them at Costco. They were a really good deal. And I don't need it so much for the blackout because like I don't sleep in this room because I'm in basically the living room. It's all one big open area. Kitchen and dining room is over there, living room, and I'm kind of in my office space. But it's all one big open space. So yeah, it's warm. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of anything, much of anything today. But it was a good week. Things are definitely picking up. Things are picking up with work. We have one more week, and then classes start. So I still have one more week. Have I started on my syllabi yet? I have not. So I had a friend who texted me the other day, and she said, she works for a different university, and they start, I think, on Monday. And she says, I left my syllabi to do all of them this weekend. I was like, I feel you. I do that sometimes too. So, but yeah, things are going well. Things are going good. So we'll just get through this little heat wave and kind of go from there. But I have some stuff to show you. I'm excited about it. So let's get into it. So first up, I worked on my 25/7 piece, which is Lovely Laundry from mine is in Cross Stitch Crazy. I've mentioned this before. It's also called Little Helpers, I think, in some magazines. This is by Lucy Heaton, so you can look for it if you're interested. We're doing this as a sort of a sal. A casual sal for Robin Bird's Eye Stitches for her birthday. So this is what it will look like. And I am stitching mine on a 32 count fabric called Clouds by Atomic Ranch. It is blue with like white modeling. So I'm not going to be stitching any of the blue, maybe not the clouds either. We'll see how it looks. Like if it looks like something is missing up there, we'll just see what it looks like. But I'm kind of like right in here, and I started on this laundry basket. I have not done much with this grass though, and that will certainly take a while. But here is where we got to. So you can see I got this, I think it's a towel maybe? Dish towel or blanket or something. So I got that in. Again, this looks funny because there's no back stitch. And then I started on the laundry basket right here. And I think when I get the laundry basket done, there's some daisies around it. I think I will maybe start on the grass because I don't want to leave all the grass for the end because then that's no fun. But I think I'll just kind of work on the grass because really we only have, about a week, a little over a week left to work on this. So we'll see how far we can get. This has been really fun to work on. Pretty easy stitch. So it'd be good for retreats and travel stitching even. So you can see the background of my fabric kind of has, I mean, it's called clouds, right? So I think one of the clouds would go up in here if I were to stitch them. I'll wait till the very end till I have everything in and see if it looks like I want to put those in. But here is where we got to on, let me move this out of the way because that's my needle minder, but I thought it was perfect for this. Lovely laundry. So there you go. All right. So that's been a fun one to work on. That's a good 25/7 piece. All right, next I have a finish. I'm so excited. I have a finish. I finished JBW Designs Floral Alphabet. This is what it's supposed to look like. Mine does not look anything like that. I stitched this on a 32 count antique white Lugana, so nothing too crazy there. But let me show you my finish. Here we go. All right. So last week I know that I said it looks a little too busy to me and I would have done it differently. And I still probably would have done it differently had I known, picked fewer colors. But I did, after I finished it, I did go back in and reduce some of the busyness, like took out some colors and all that. You can see it's kind of yellow heavy, but I don't mind it. I like it. So I feel better about it than I did last week. So that's good. You do have to kind of look at it to see what it is, right? Like you kind of have to look at it and be like, oh, it's the alphabet. But if I were to do it again, I think I would just pick one color for all the letters. I think this is what Sarah Stitching Mommy is doing. One color for all the letters, one color for the flowers, maybe, and then one color for the vines. But it's really hard. I'm going to tell you, it's really hard sometimes to tell what is a color or like what is a flower versus a vine versus part of the cursive letter. It's really hard sometimes in some cases. So just be aware of that yours may not look like mine because we made different decisions about what was what. But overall, I am very happy with it. Let me show it to you one more time and then I can give you some information. So overall, I'm very happy with it. It really doesn't take that long. It took me a total of 34 hours to stitch. And that included going back in, taking some things out and adding some, like kind of trying to reduce the busyness of it a little bit. I started this March 18th of last year as my birthday start for 2024. And I finished it on the 19th, which was that, Wednesday? Tuesday? Whenever the 19th of August was this year. And again, it took me 34 hours start to finish. So I'm super excited to have this done. This was not on my year of whips or anything like that. But it certainly is a finish. So we're happy about that. And a birthday finish, no less. So I'm super excited about that. Next is Gridiron Grind. So let me tell you about this. So for Gridiron Grind, which is, I think, Kim Hollenbach, I think there is now, if you go to Facebook, Full Coverage Fanatics, I've heard that there is now a challenge on Full Coverage Fanatics. I have not looked at it. I am not doing that like officially. I heard about it through Stitching Mommy and said, yep, I can do that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not posting pictures or anything other than talking with you about it with you here, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Okay, so for my Gridiron Grind piece, I chose Cat Alphabet, artwork by Irina Garmashova, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm here in the first block, and I got the L done, and then you could see this purple kind of into reddy pink. You'll see that start to appear, but I'm not worried about that. I think I've decided I'm going to focus on the alphabet, the word alphabet, and then I'll come back in and do like the little leftover. Because once we get to like the A there, it's almost touching the bottom of that block. And then, we'll have some more over here. So let me show you where I got to. So you can see I have a little bit of that purple. Just when it's on my needle, I will carry it wherever till the thread runs out. So the L is now done, and you can see we started some of that space in between the L and the P and I had some color on, so we brought it down into, kind of this area down here, which is not going to be the focus. And then, so next time this comes out, we'll focus in this little space between the L and the P there. But L is done. So this is actually 2 games worth. So for preseason, let me get my chart out. This is my little worksheet here that I have. Okay, so last Saturday, the 16th, my team is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They played Tampa Bay, and they lost 14-17. So for a preseason, we're doing 5 points per point. 5 stitches per point. So 14 points is what the Steelers got. Times 5 is 70 stitches. So I ended up doing 76 stitches. So, yay. And then the Steelers had their last preseason game was actually on Thursday. So of this week, where they played Carolina, and the Steelers won 19-10. So 19 points times 5 stitches per point is 95 stitches. I was able last night. So basically, instead of the lovely laundry piece, I did my gridiron stitches, and that worked out really well. So instead of 95, I did 103 is how many I got done. So in total, between the 2 games, I was supposed to do 165 stitches, and I actually did 179. So not much more, but a little bit more. I usually just go till like either my thread is run out or until I'm at like a good stopping point. This is now at 5.10% done. So that's very exciting. So preseason's officially over. I know there are more preseason games this weekend, but for my team, preseason is now over. Their first game of the season isn't until September 7th, which is a Sunday. So most of the games will now be on Sundays, and a lot of them are at 10 a.m. my time because I'm on the West Coast, which works out nice because they'll be done by about 1. And I should still be able to get that stitching in on Sunday when I have a little more time when I'm not working. It's the games that maybe aren't until like 5 o'clock that will be like, I probably won't have time to finish that. It may be the following week before I'm able to finish that stitching. But for the most part, I'm hoping to get the stitching done on Sundays now. And the other, I suppose I can put this down. My arm is getting tired. And we will be doing 10 stitches per point. So that's gonna be a lot. I'm not gonna lie, because if you look at, they scored 19 points in the last game times 10. That's 190 stitches. That's quite a bit. So we'll just see what we do. I want them to do well. That's the main thing. I want them to do well this season. So this has been really fun. So it's going to be, though, a couple weeks before we have any more scores to go by. So it'll be a couple weeks before we see this one. September 7th is their first game. Okay. Next up is Summer Montage, another full coverage. This is artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. This is my seasonal Sunday piece. And I am on this block. We are ever getting closer to that fun pink of the watermelon. Not quite there, but getting there. And this is just on a 32 count Lugana in white or antique white, I'm not sure. In total, I got 461 stitches done on this, and I'm now at 9.21% done. And so you can see we did a lot of filling in here. I'm trying to think where else did I work. I think I mostly just worked in here. 461 stitches seems like a lot for just this little bit, doesn't it? Like, it doesn't seem like that would be that many stitches, but I think it is because I think that's the only place I worked in. Because I really want to get to that fun peak. So we're getting there. It can't be too much more rind, right? So this has been really fun to work on and see the progress and kind of, because I had just barely started it last year when it was time to put it away. Like, we just got a little tiny start. So it's always fun to see your starting point after you put, 3 months of work into it. So I'm excited about that. But I'm just going to keep going in this watermelon. I'm going to try not to worry too much about what's going on down here. I'll get to that later. But I just really want to work on the watermelon for right now. So that is where we are at with Summer Montage. 9.21% done. All right, I had another new start. So this is start number 3 of 4 new starts for this month. This is the only one that I can't blame Robin for. And this got 2 days, and this is a kit my parents got me. It is called Velkommen. It says, "Welcome to our home." It's in Norwegian. And it came as a kit, came with the fabric. I changed the fabric out. It came with all the DMC, and that's what it will look like. I'm stitching it on, I bought a different fabric. I'm stitching on a 28 count. It's called Touch of Yellow Linen. And this is where I got to. Now, let's talk about this for a minute. This chart is a hand-drawn chart. There are 2 symbols that are filled in circles. One is big and one is little. Which, even with a computer chart, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference. But it's very hard to tell the difference with a hand-drawn chart. And there are 2 symbols that's an L, like an L shape. One is like thicker lines and one is thinner lines. That is also very hard to tell with a hand-drawn chart. So I'm not totally confident this is following exactly what the chart says, but we're doing it, and I'm really happy with how it looks. So up here, these are X's, and then they're connected by a strand of backstitch. These up here are like, this border. Let me show you this border on here. All right, it looks, so I'm on this outside border. This is going to take a while too, but this outside border, which is a lot of stitching. So these are 4 stitches, and then you have to end your thread. Different color, you can't really tell, but it is a different color. 2 stitches, and then you have to end your thread. Especially because this is very see-through. This linen I'm using is very see-through, so you really can't carry. You can't get away with carrying. 4 stitches, end your thread. 2 stitches, different color, end your thread. Now, I mean, of course, I'm doing like, when I started, I'm doing like all the 2 stitches till my thread runs out, and then coming back and doing all the 4 stitches. But that is going to be, it's going to be about tenacity with this one. And then I came down here to do this. And again, some of these you can't tell on the chart. You can't even really tell if you look at the picture, because it's not a great picture. Like, that is not, and especially because like I'm up in here trying to decipher what is going on up here. And so I found a picture online. This is not a common chart, because I think it's from a Scandinavian shop in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. And I don't know if like they did it. Like, that's the only design information is Ingebrigtsen's on here. So, it's not like a common chart where I can go and see what it's supposed to be, or I don't know. Anyway, I did find a picture online that I was able to blow up and be like, okay, this is the color they probably mean. So this will be a challenge, but so far I really like the look of it, and I really like how it's coming together. It's just this outside border is going to be, it's going to take a while. And it's very much going to be, like you're going to have to do a thread of each before you get into the fun stuff. You know what I mean? Just to keep moving it along. But this is Velkommen, so it got 2 days. I got 2 days on it. So that's exciting. This will come out again. So that is good. And then I pulled out Cozy Respite. That is in the Keepsake 2025 calendar. It is is a design by Susan Bates. This is what it will look like. And mine, if you remember, does not have any backstitch, so she looks a little scary. So this is where we got to. So a lot of this is already done. So what this is I, when I finished Floral Alphabet, I still had 1 day on my Whipgo, because my Whipgo is 4 days for each piece, that is called. So I finished Floral Alphabet, I think, in 3 days. So on the 4th day, I was like, well, what am I going to do? And Floral Alphabet is also on my Whipgo board 2 more times. So I'm going to replace it with Cozy Respite. So I did some work in here, and then I started in on her jeans down here. And there's some work in there that I did. So she looks a little scary, but we got a little more work done on her. This is just a 28 count mystery linen. I don't know what it is. It was in my stash. So, speaking of Whipgo, so here's my Whipgo board to date. So I officially have 2 Whipgos. So I have one right here and one right here. Finally, these are my first 2 Whipgos for finishing Floral Alphabet. So that is great. So I have 2 down. Now, like I said, Floral Alphabet was on my list 2 more times. So I'm going to do a Cozy Respite. That will replace it. So that will come out 2 more. So basically, it'll get 8 more days of work, which is quite a lot. It was also, because you may remember, like, we just saw it, and you did earlier this month, because it was a replacement for Beautiful Things, which I also finished, but it only had 1 more call. So that call is done. So Cozy Respite will come out 2 more times this year. And really, I just want to go over the board where we are. Antonia, the sampler that I'm working on by Jan Hicks Creates, it still needs to be called 2 more times. Elegant Pumpkins, which is a sub for The Snuggle is Real, which I finished earlier this year. Elegant Pumpkins, it will get 1 more call. The Free Space still hasn't been called yet. And then, like I said, Cozy Respite will get 2 more calls. A Christmas Dinner will get 1 more call. And then Warm Welcome, which is that arbor with the cat and all the flowers on the arbor, that will still get 2 more calls. We have not worked on it yet this year, but that is a sub for 'Tis the Season, which was a finish as well. So some good stuff coming up. And then, so that was everything. Just this week. So just a little bit of haul to share with you. First up, I got my World of Cross Stitch. You can see I already glanced through it briefly. World of Cross Stitch, this is July 2025. So that came in the mail, so I'll be doing a flip through. And then it came with this freebie, Best Friend Card Kit, You Are My Sunshine. So that came in the mail. And then I got some lovely Happy Mail, which I was obviously not expecting anything. So this is from Janet. She sent me a lovely card or letter, and she sent me this bag. She said, I saw this bag and I knew it had to be yours. And oh my gosh. Okay. Look how beautiful. It's a So Much to Love bag. I've never had a So Much to Love bag. I've admired them, but I have not ever had them. So it's cats. It's blue, my favorite color, and it's flowers. It is so perfect. Here's the back. It's so, so lovely. So thank you so much for thinking of me and for your lovely note. And I'll show you the inside. It has that cute paw print design. So this will definitely go to my stash. I'm so excited to have a So Much to Love bag. My first one. And I love this little trim here. This is just so cute. This is just so, so cute. So thank you so much. And then it came with like a tea. I think this is what she does with all of her purchases. It comes with a tea. So I got Moroccan mint and just a little card that explains, right, like if you want to show us your bag, and here's our Instagram handles and all that. It's so lovely, and it was such a nice surprise. It was really hot out when I got this. She says, saw this project bag and immediately thought of you. So it is so lovely. So thank you so much. I will treasure it, and I will think of you whenever I use that. So that was a fun surprise. Okay, that's all for haul. I'm being very good with haul because I went a little crazy with Market. Not gonna lie, went a little crazy with Market, but I don't have them yet, so that doesn't count as haul. But I've been very good lately. So we'll have fun when the market order comes in. So I hope everybody who's participating, whether you're designers or shop owners, is having a really fun market. Okay, let's do giveaways. So first up, we have the North Wind. This is by Little House Needleworks. And the winner of this is Linda Fisatola. So Linda, I already have your address, so I will pop this in the mail to you. And then the second one was these little designs for your home. And Hilltop Stitching, you won. I think I owe you something else. Or you've won recently. But if I owe you something else, I'll put them together and ship them out together. And if not, I'll look through my emails and make sure I have your address, or you can just email me again. Okay, so we have 2 new giveaways for this week. So the first one is an older Rosewood Manor. It is an anniversary or wedding sampler. It's called Grow Old With Me. This is from 2006, and you can kind of see Grow Old With Me, the best is yet to be, and you could put anniversary or wedding or whatever their initials, and then the date if you want to in there. This whole piece, I can't, doesn't tell me the size without opening it, so, and I don't want to take it out of the plastic. So I will ship anywhere in the world, just don't say win or giveaway or anything like that. Let's say best, B-E-S-T, best for this one. And then the next one is a Prairie Schooler, 12 Days of Christmas. This is a hard cardstock, so it's one of the original by book number 74, and it's 12 Days of Christmas, so you can see the 12 days there. This one is 95 stitches high by 250 wide. Or you can do individual days if you want and just do them like as individual, like to fill up a tree or something. Individually, they are 40 by 40, so not very big. The call for is a 32 count natural light linen. So if you use it on 32 count, it's going to be the whole piece like this will be 6 inches by 15 and 5/8. So if you would like to win this, say Christmas. So we're getting in the spirit. We are willing fall and winter to come. All right, my friends, let's get into plans, which I don't have a whole lot to share this week, but next week will be, I think, it will be the last Saturday of the month. So we'll talk about September because there's a lot going on in September. But for this week, 25/7, we'll continue with Lovely Laundry. We'll do Summer Montage for Seasonal Sunday tomorrow. Again, no gridiron grind, no cat alphabet until September 7th. Velkommen will get 2 more days this week before I see you next. And then we have our final new start, our 4th new start for the month of August, completely Robin's fault. Because I need another Rosewood Manor on the go as a whip. This is Crosshaven Sampler. I love this one so much. I have been eyeing it. I mean, this is one of those, like, I've been eyeing it, and when Robin said she wanted to start it, I was like, yeah, I want to start it. I have a place picked out in my home where I want it to hang. So, I grew up, there was a marsh near where I grew up, and we used to walk there. We called them walkers, a walker to elementary school. And there was a marsh area that our science teacher, Mr. Muggy, would take us, and, we would explore and whatnot. You can't really see it on here, but there are 2, like, egrets or cranes there. They're really hard to see. But I love this. I picked this is a 32 count Swiss Coffee by Color and Cotton. It's very, it's a little darker than what it's showing up as. But it really does look like, it looks like you put a lot of cream in your coffee. I don't put that much cream in my coffee. But, so maybe this will help. Sun is changing too. So this was when I was in the Color and Cotton maybe Fabric of the Month Club. I don't know. It doesn't say. But, so that's exciting. So that will get 4 days this month. So that is everything we will be working on. So another new start, which I'm excited about. We're finishing things, but boy, we're starting a lot of things too, aren't we? So I hope you have a great week. one more week of working from home until we're back in the office for the semester and ready to go. I'll be teaching 3 classes this semester because we had someone who left kind of suddenly. So we were not anticipating that, and so I will be taking over one of their classes. So I will have 3 classes this semester, which is fine. Happy to do it, but it will be a very busy semester. So I hope you're all doing well. Stay cool, stay hydrated if it's warm where you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye.